His resting spot is unknown. It's unknown on purpose because from that moment on, the nickname just stuck. So I just heard it. Hello, Seeker Squad. Well, we made it in. If you watched the last video, I told you this cemetery, the gates were locked when I first showed up. Drove back, gates are open. So we came in, already did a little walking around, trying to find the spot that I want to sit, and I found it. Now the person we were reaching out to, he may not be resting here because his resting spot is unknown. It's unknown on purpose because we're trying to reach out to Gerard Ouimette, who was a big mob person in Rhode Island. Now, I have some information about him, which I will tell you about. And they said he is resting somewhere in the state. That's all we know. That's all the information they will give us. He's resting in the state. But what I did find out through a lot of research was a lot of his family is resting in this resting area. And where we are sitting right now, this is right here is Helen J. Ouimette and her daughter Helen Hardy. That is his mom. So I figured if there's one spot, if we don't know where he is resting, if there's one spot that he may come to speak to us, it'll be his mom's resting area. The person we're reaching out to is Gerard, the Frenchman Ouimette. So his father, Alvin, passed away in 1948. He was the chauffeur for Rhode Island's governor at the time. He contracted tuberculosis. He was forced to resign. He ended up passing away in 1948. Gerard's criminal life started very shortly after his father passed away, and his mother was obviously having a hard time raising all the children by herself after her passing. So him and one of his brothers started shoplifting and to steal items to resell them to make money for the family. That's when his criminal life started. He was first appeared in court when he was just 10 years old. He was arrested for possession of a firearm. Now he says he was in the alleyway and he picked up that firearm off the ground because another man who was running away from the cops dropped the firearm. So he picked it up. Cops saw him with it and they arrested him. That's his story. So that's his story. And then because of that arrest, he was sent to a reform school in Rhode Island. While in that reform school, he was in repeated fights, constant repeated fights. After seeing this, some of the teachers at that reform school would bring him to boxing clubs so they could have him fight and they could make some money on the side. 1959, 2 months after he turned 18, he was arrested yet again. This time, he was arrested for robbing a jewelry store at gunpoint. I'm not sure of the length of that sentence, but during the third year of that prison sentence, two of his other brothers, I believe he had three brothers, two of his brothers, Alvin and Billy, passed away during a construction accident. Now, a few months after that, he was granted parole to go live with his mother. So he lived with his mother, and very shortly after that, he was arrested yet again for a parole violation. After that, he was released from jail. Shortly after that is when his life in the mob started. He was introduced to Raymond Patriarca, who, if anybody's been around, you know, we actually went and talked to Raymond. He was the mob boss. He was introduced, Gerard was introduced to him, and Gerard's first task for Raymond, go acquire me some stolen Cadillacs that I'm supposed to have. So he went and did that, and then from there on, he was given more and more tasks. He eventually became one of Raymond's lieutenants, right-hand man, one of his lieutenants, even though he was French and he was not Italian. The name the Frenchman was given to Gerard by the police of all people. He said it in his memoir. The police wrote the nickname the Frenchman on his profile, and then from that moment on, the nickname just stuck. So from that moment on, he was known as Gerard the Frenchman. While serving this sentence in July of 1972 for the gun possession, he was convicted of conspiracy to kill Michael Green and Homer Perkins, who had been murdered 3 years prior to him being in jail. He was found guilty of that. He was given an additional 10 years onto his sentence. Now, and he was moved to a maximum security facility. Now, when he was eventually released, he was in and out of prison for years and years, in and out, in and out, in and out. And then he was released again on parole in October of 1994. Less than 5 months later, he would be arrested for his final time. He was arrested for extorting $125,000 from a restaurant owner and attempting to extort $5,000 from a car dealership. He was found guilty, and he was sentenced to life without parole. Now, at that time, Gerard was the first person in New England to be sentenced to life without parole. And he was just the fourth person in all of the United States to be given that sentence. He passed April 19th, 2015, at the age of 75. He was currently in a correctional facility in North Carolina. He passed away in his sleep 10 days after being diagnosed with lung cancer. His body was then sent back to Rhode Island for the burial and the funeral, and that's where it ends. That's where the information ends. It does not say where he is buried. I think they did that on purpose. I think they did it on purpose to not say where he is buried, but he's just buried in Rhode Island somewhere. But like I said, a lot of his family is resting in this cemetery. A lot of his family. And this is right here where we are sitting is his mother and his sister, both named Helen. So I figured we will come here and we'll try and reach out. Like I said, if he's going to reach out from anywhere, from us being anywhere, I feel like he would reach out from right here. So let's see if he'll come through, speak to us about his crime history, about his life in prison. He spent 46 years of his life behind bars. He died at 75. 46 of those years were behind bars. So pretty much that's all he knew. That's pretty much all he knew. When you spend more than half your life behind bars, that's pretty much how you're going to be. So let's see how he reacts, how he responds if he comes through, spending more than half of his life behind bars. All right. We're going to get to speaking now, and let's see how much time we got here. Also, we'll spend a little bit of time right here. I found something pretty interesting. in this resting area that I will show you, and we might do a little session there also. Put that out there so I don't forget. Remind me. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget now. Okay? Don't let me forget to go over there. All right, let's turn this on. We're starting with the necrophonic and the spirit talker. Um, Gerard, Ouimette. I'm sitting here with your mother and your sister because I don't know where you are resting. Will you please come through and speak with us today? I'm assuming that you are resting somewhere in this resting area, somewhere in the cemetery. I think you are resting, but it does not say. A lot of your family are here. Could you come through and say your name, Gerard? I just heard it. Gerard, say your name again. I just heard him say Gerard. I don't know if it's it. I did. I don't know. Gerard, I just gave people your as much life history as I could find on you. Do you regret your life of crime? No. No. You heard that? No. So you don't regret it. Okay? That's okay. Do you think, Gerard, do you think that if your father had not passed away when you were at such a young age, at such a young age, do you think you still would have ended up in that life of crime? Do you think you would have ended up in this living the same life if your father had not died when you were so young? Suspicious? Say it's suspicious. I can't do nothing to you now, George. And I don't think you. I don't think. I mean, I said George. Why did I say George? Why did I say George? I couldn't do anything to you now, Gerard. And I don't think that you were afraid of it anyway. I think, Dad. Yeah, I'm happy. I think you were fine with the consequences that you were given. Like you knew what you were doing, and you're like, if I get caught, I get caught. How do you feel that you were the first person in New England to be given the life without parole sentence? Did that affect you at that moment when that sentence was given? Because every other time that you went to jail, you were arrested, you were able to get out on parole. But that last time, they said no more parole. You're going away for good. How often do you come and visit here at your mother's resting site? Do you come here often? Yes. I also read, I didn't say this part, I read that at the time of your death, that you were working on an appeal on your last conviction, that you were trying to get out. Do you think that would have worked? Do you think they would have let you out? How do how was that work going? Was it going good? Do you think? Or had it? I don't know how far along you were. I just read that at the time of your passing, you were working on an appeal. What what is something that you could tell me about your time in the mob? What is something you can tell me about that? Do you think that your father would have approved of your life? He would? I felt like he said he would. Really? You think so? Let me ask you this question, Gerard. Let me ask you this question. I don't know if you gonna remember. I feel like it's something that you would remember. Your first arrest. Your first arrest for that gun possession in the alley. Was that your firearm? Or did you really find it on the ground? Did you really find it on the ground or was it really yours? I'm sure you remember. Come on. I think did it say own? Like it was his own. It was his own. He was just trying to get out of being arrested. How did you feel from that arrest when you were that young? Oh, sorry, not from that arrest. From your next arrest at 10 years old. Right? Yeah, at 10 years old. I think it was that one. I don't remember. I just read it. I tell you my memory shot. When you were in reform school and the teachers would bring you to the boxing clubs, did you like that? Did you know they were making money off of you? Or did you not care? You were just happy that you were able to fight. Yes, I thought it said yes, daring fight. How many fights did you lose? You must have been pretty good if they thought they could bring you to a boxing club. Did you ever lose? Nope. He said that. No. Don't even put that on my name. I ain't never lost. I ain't never lost. Don't even put that on my name. I get it. I get it. I get it. All right. Hey, Gerard, I want to take a walk over here because I told the Secret Squad I wanted to show them something. So thank you for speaking with us. This was great. I read your life story, as much as information as I could find. I'm sorry, they won't say where you are resting, but I figured you would come and visit your mother, so that's why I came here. So thank you very much for that. All right, Secret Squad, we're gonna come over here. I'm gonna show you what I found. All right, so I want to show you this, but before I show you this, I have to show you what the rest of this resting area looks like. As you can see, this is It does not look that historic. Let me lower this volume. It looks just like a normal resting in modern headstones. This is where we are. But as I was looking for Mrs. Helen's resting area, I walked down this way over here, and I found something pretty interesting. Again, as I said, this is pretty modern resting area. Then as we walk over here, you guys thought you were going to see it right away? No, I gotta build the suspense. You gotta wonder, what did he find? What did he find? What is he going to show us? I found this right here. This little old historic resting area. All these headstones, you can't even really read any names on them, but it's just a small section right here. Right here we have Sally Smith. It's probably the best headstone that we can read. Sally Smith, wife of Timothy Smith, daughter of Rufus and Marcy Dyer. She passed away in 1868, it looks like. This little section is probably about 20 to 30 headstones right here. Just out here in the back of this modern resting area. So I figured we would sit right here. We just saw Sally. Oh, we have another name right here. Is this Marcy? Marcy? Well, I don't think it's Sally's mom. Wife of Captain something. Shoebridge? Captain Shoebridge? Maybe? So I figured we're gonna come sit over here at this bench, see if anybody in this old section would like to speak. Look at this tree. Crazy. We're gonna sit down, form a little session right here. All right. Oh, I thought I was going full. All right. I don't know many names. I know there's Sally Smith, Thomas Smith. It's Thomas, right? And her parents, Rufus and Mary. And then I saw another Mary, wife of the captain. If you would like to come through and speak, that would be great. I'm going to put this lighter ball out here. I'll put both lighter balls out here. That if you would like to come sit down next to me and let me know you're here, that would be great. All right. We're going to shut the microphonic off. We're going to go to try. We're going to go to the sauna. Is there anybody here from this old section that would like to come speak? Hold on, let me put a rock behind this one because that one just rolled. Now they're all rolling. This wind. Hope the wind don't mess up this. Mess it up. Here we go. Is it who is resting here besides Sally and her family and Marcy? Those are the only names I could see.
Something up.
Was that the wind? If that was not the wind, can you do that again right now? Right now, there's no wind. I didn't notice. I'm just gonna sit here for a few minutes. 37? Hold on, I gotta count this now. It's at 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 37. I just counted 37 headstones, and it said 37. I don't know about those. I think it's too windy for those. So you just told me the number of people resting here. That's amazing. That's amazing. Very intelligent. Thank you for that. Who told me that? What is your name? I told you there was like 20 to 30. And they're like, no, you're not going to forget any of us. There's 37 of us. And I count it, and there's 37. Who told me that? Try it one more time. If it blows away, then we're just going to leave it. Is Sally here? I know I can see Sally's name. Sally and her family. Can't read a lot of your names. Middle. Keep saying middle. Who's here from the middle? Come sit down with me. That was the wind. That was the wind. I saw that. That was the wind. Something about the tree. Tree? We're in front of the tree. Or behind the tree. Depending how you look at it. In front of the tree from where you are. When was the last time someone came to visit this little section? I'm listening. What are you gonna tell me? Yeah, I moved, but that was the wind. That was definitely the wind. How do you feel that they built this big resting area around you guys? How did you feel when they did that? Built it around. Built it around. Yep. Said miscarriage twice. Said miscarriage twice. Does someone have a miscarriage here? I'm gonna get going soon, spirits. Just so you know, I just want to come and sit here for a few minutes. The wind is getting to be a bit much, and I'll probably come back here though, because I want to spend more time here. I wish I could figure out who is resting here. I might try and do some research on that, so I can get your names, and I'll come back and I'll put your names out there. Would you like me to do that? Would you like me to try and figure out your names? And if I can, I'll come back. Yes? Okay. I'm gonna do that. We got Ernest. So if there's an Ernest in there, that's gonna be pretty cool. All right. I'm gonna get going now though. Thank you. All right, Seeker Squall came here today. This is St. Anne's Cemetery. We came here to speak to Gerard Ouimette, the mob person who had a pretty interesting life, even though more than half of it was spent behind bars. As I was looking for that resting site, I found this resting site. So I wanted to come over here and pay my respects and put these people, get some attention to these people also. I'm going to try and figure out who is resting here. And if I can, at some point, we're coming back here and I'm going to put their names out there so they can be remembered as well. Because a lot of their names are not here right now. So I'm going to try and do that. But you guys are the best. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. Thank you for joining in. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Click that bell. Turn notifications to on so you don't miss any videos in the future. There's a link in the description in case you want to pick up this cool shirt. And you guys are the best. And I will see you in the next one.